79-year-old Jackie is one of over 3 million children orphaned during World War II. For nearly 60 years, he and his wife Lita have been searching for any information about his past. They're hoping analysing his DNA can finally give him some answers. Hello, Jackie.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It's so nice to meet you. I've been so looking forward to it.
It's very nice to meet you too.
Likewise.
I love the way you talk.
Oh, God, not many do.
I do.
Actually, Jackie, not many do.
You're good. You're good.
I feel so lucky to meet you. You grew up in North London. You've got Jewish folks.
Jewish folk. I had a terrific life. I was just a regular Jewish North London kid. I was adopted by two loving people. We never got kisses like they do today, but I knew they loved me. But the big bombshell was when I was just about to get married to Lita. I had to prove that I was Jewish to get married in a synagogue. And they said, you're going to have papers to prove it. And my mother had...
certificate, whatever. Yeah.
And that's when I found that horrible news. I was born in Vienna, and I was 2 years, 8 months in a concentration camp.
You were in a concentration camp when you were a kid?
From 9 months old.
A baby?
A baby.
Jackie, are you happy to try and describe how that moment felt when you realised I was in a concentration camp?
It's totally unbelievable. It's the stuff of nightmares to find out that I'm not English, these are my parents, and I came from a concentration camp.
Jackie's parents had hidden an awful truth, that as a young Jewish orphan in Vienna, the Gestapo had sent Jackie to a Nazi concentration camp called Theresienstadt.
It was a holding camp for sending people to Auschwitz. 15,000 children from my camp went to Auschwitz and were murdered on arrival. How I made it, I still don't know. I have no memory of Theresienstadt at all. But I still carry the trauma of the situation.
At the end of the Second World War, 300 orphans who survived the concentration camps were flown to Lake Windermere in Cumbria to start a new life. Jackie was 3.5 years old when he first came to England and was soon adopted.
As far as I know, I arrived in the UK in August 1945. All of a sudden, my life was completely different.
To try to give Jackie a normal life, his adopted parents pretended that the past he vaguely remembered was nothing but a childhood nightmare. You arrived at the concentration camp when you were 9 months old. You left when you were 3, which begs the question, why weren't you killed?
Well, this is where I've even toyed with the idea, the possibility that my father was a Nazi who may have said, leave him alone.
Not my boy. How would you feel if that were true?
At my time of life, whatever happens, the good, bad and the ugly, I'm prepared for it.
What is it that you're hoping to find out?
In the end, anything. I'll take anything. Any piece of the puzzle I'm prepared for.
And what? Has Lita been helping you over the years, trying to find any information?
Much so. Lita has been my rock. She's a woman that blows you away.
Oh, look at you. You're now romantic, Jackie. Can't wait to meet her.
I first met Jackie when I was about 18. My brother was his friend. And one day he knocked on the door. He was bubbly and very carefree. But this guy that I fell in love with wasn't just a simple, fun-loving guy. It was Jackie with a past. Hello.
Stacey, how are you?
I'm fine.
So nice
And
to
you?
meet you. I'm really
And
well. You've been together for 58 years, which is such an achievement. That's incredible.
It is, isn't it? I'm waiting for my medal.
Quite right. Nice. You got any photos of your wedding?
We have.
I never used one of these before.
Now you have
Is
to
it
twist.
clear?
You have to twist.
Word. Lita. Goodness me. Lita, I know this is a really cheesy thing to say, but you look like royalty. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I mean it. You look so dashing, Jackie.
Oh, I haven't changed. I'll leave you two to have a little natter.
When your Jackie found out that he had spent time in a concentration camp, how did he react to that?
Well, he was just dumbfounded, really.
Did you say to Jackie, look, we need to try and find out more?
Yes, we tried everywhere. It's taken all our married lives, really, trying to unravel the past. All we have is his mother's name, where she was born, where she was sent to be killed. He just doesn't know who he is or who he was.
And it hasn't got any easier as the years have gone on.
It's actually got harder. He'd cry, I'd find him crying in the shower and say, "What's the matter?" And he'd say, "The pain, I can't bear the pain."
If we're able to find information, will it change your Jackie's life?
Well, it would give him some peace of mind that he's done as much as he can. And there is nothing else. There is nothing else.
Having heard Jackie's story, I want to talk to Turi about how challenging his case might be. Turi, I have met a guy called Jackie. He survived the Holocaust. He's obviously desperate to try and find out a bit more about his family. How realistic is it that we're able to give him this kind of information?
Okay, that's really not going to be easy, and that's for two reasons. So first of all, in the Holocaust, 6 million Jews were killed. When you do this kind of research, you see multi-generations of a family are gone. Now, if you look at kind of a normal family tree, so this has been done with both DNA, but also with traditional kind of genealogical records. What happens when you upload somebody's DNA? Chances are there might be a first cousin or, maybe a second cousin who's already tested, and you find those matches and you use those matches as a jump start. Now with Jackie, knowing about, he's a Holocaust survivor, there aren't going to be the first cousins and the second cousins and the aunts and the uncles in the databases. Chances are they were murdered. The other thing is the records. The Nazis went to town on getting rid of the records. They burned down synagogues. They had a kind of systematic process where they were getting rid of Jewish records. Presumably, they're trying to get rid of not just the people, but their existence, their communities, their ancestry. It all goes.
I suppose for you as well, Turi, you're physically seeing the holes.
It's really heartbreaking. We hear 6 million Jewish people, but it feels like just a number. It doesn't feel real. But when you start to follow family trees and you find generations of families gone.
Despite a lifelong search, the only concrete information Jackie has ever found was his original birth certificate. This included his birth mother's name, but the entry for his father was left blank. DNA testing is now Jackie's last chance to learn any information about his family.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Have a seat. It's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How can I help you?
Well, there's a major missing part of my life. All I know is that my mother, Elsa was her name, she was Jewish. My paternal side, I have no knowledge of. He could have been a non-Jew. He could have been a Nazi. Because why did I survive in a concentration camp? I also used to dream about knowing the possibility that somebody out there somehow could have made it from my past.
So it sounds like there's sort of two questions there. Can we say anything about your biological father? And the second is, can we find any living family members? So in terms of your father potentially being a Nazi, that is not unheard of, because we know in 1939, for example, in Nazi-controlled Austria, there were over 4,000 marriages between Jews and non-Jews. Obviously, what we want to be looking at is whether or not we think your dad might have been Jewish. So we're going to take your DNA and we're going to be putting it into databases around the world. And what I'm looking for, does it look like what's coming back from your father's side seems to come from the Jewish community or not? Now, in terms of finding relatives, I think that's going to be particularly difficult. I mean, the loss is really extraordinary.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard job.
It's a big journey you're going on. You've got people here, you've got social workers, counselors, knowing how difficult it's going to be. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
I can tell you, I think this is going to be easily the hardest case I have ever been involved in. We will pull out all the stops, I promise.
Oh.
I so want to find you some answers. There you go.
With no information to go on, Turi and our team will now start analysing Jackie's DNA against the 30 million people already on worldwide databases.
Isn't it ironic that such a small specimen can open a big door?
I'm really hoping we can do that for you.
They will be trying to discover his father's ancestry and if any distant family might have survived the Holocaust. Before Jackie gets his results, he's come to visit his oldest friend, Bella, one of the only other toddlers who survived the concentration camp, Theresienstadt.
For me, Bella is about as close as you get to family.
Hello, come on in.
Jackie was separated from Bella when they were adopted by different families and were only reunited as adults.
She shares a past that is extremely hard to understand. How we got through such a horrible situation.
Bella has tried to help Jackie remember the childhood that he was told to forget.
I remember you when you were little. You had that lovely lot of black curly hair.
Haven't changed a bit. What year did you arrive in Theresienstadt?
In 43.
I probably showed you around. We didn't have a normal upbringing, did we?
Well, we didn't have any upbringing,
No,
so I think we actually brought each other up to a certain extent.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, we became a family. I don't know if you realise, but I've always thought of you as a brother, and that means
It's
a lot.
something really special, isn't it?
It is.
It still puzzles me why we survived.
Well, I have a theory. The children that were taken to Auschwitz from Theresienstadt, they all had a family member with them to carry them.
Yes.
Or to look after them.
Yes.
And we didn't have anybody.
No.
Also, I don't think they wanted to waste ammunition. I mean, they thought we were going to die anyway.
Yes.
So how are you feeling about the DNA? It must be very...
Anxious would be the word, I would think. And it's so important to give some identity, some flesh to the bones.
Well, I do hope, you get some results. I know that it's a very rocky road. It's not always what you want or expect. But I think even if the knowing is not good, it's actually better than not knowing, isn't it?
My life is being consumed by my past, more so now than ever before.
After nearly 60 years of looking for information about his family, today Jackie is going to finally get some answers.
I think my father could have been a Nazi because why did I survive whilst 15,000 children went to their death in Auschwitz? I just need to know the truth about my family.
It's lovely to see you again.
Lovely to see you too.
I know that you've been on a lifelong search. So I can tell you that we have been working on your case pretty much every day since I last saw you. We have had a team here, but also across Europe, working on this.
Good to hear.
And I know that one of your big questions was about whether or not your father was a Nazi.
Yeah.
So what we did, you'll remember, we got your DNA and we uploaded it to databases.
Yeah.
If your father was a Nazi, what we would be looking for is matches with non-Jewish populations.
Yes.
In Germany and Austria. So when we uploaded your DNA to the databases, unequivocally across all of them, the result was really clear. You are coming back as 99% Ashkenazi Jewish. So we think almost certainly your father was not a Nazi.
Good to hear. I really am very pleased.
As I'm sure you know, there are two main Jewish groups within Europe. So you've got the Ashkenazi Jewish populations in Northern Europe, and then you've also got Sephardic Jewish populations who tend to be sort of more around the Mediterranean area. So your matches are coming all around here. So we know this is Ashkenazi Jewish area where you get the Jewish populations. So it's Austria, Germany, Czech Republic.
Yes.
We can't give you your father's name.
Right.
And that's because the Nazis did a real job on destroying Jewish records. It's like there's a huge hole in the database.
So that's about as close as you get with my dad, yes?
I've got a little bit more information to give you.
Okay.
So, as we're looking at the database and we're seeing who you're getting matches with, we were getting some distant matches. And some of them were looking interesting. The matches that you're getting back are surnames like Sussman, Kern, Kornfein, Gottlieb. But then someone turned up in the database. This person was sharing quite a large chunk of DNA with you. The frustrating thing about the DNA is it doesn't give you the exact relationship, but it's telling us that you must share a grandparent or a great-grandparent with these people. Because we have your mother's name, we were able to build her family tree. But the surnames we're getting through your DNA, we cannot connect them in to your mother's side. So our feeling is this is your biological father's family that we found.
That's terrific.
So did a little bit more research and traced other family members and had them take DNA tests. I can tell you that some of your relatives made it through the Holocaust. Very few, but some of them made it through.
What I was praying for.
They live here in the UK.
This country, oh gosh.
Yeah. They're either your first cousins or your second cousins. We think they are your closest living relative. It's a lot to take in.
You've blown me away. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
Hi, Stacey.
Lita, how are you? Lovely to see you.
And you.
Let's see. Hi, Jackie. Hello, mate. You feeling okay?
I am feeling very good.
Okay.
Did you find out anything? Can't wait any longer. Nothing or something?
Gus.
Cousin? Well, that's good. Alive or dead? Really? And where are they?
In this country.
This would be on his mother's side?
No, my father's
Turn
side.
his father's side.
Oh, on his father's side?
Yeah.
Right. And I'm so happy for him and for me. It's great news. I'm over the moon.
I've got some bits I'd love to show you if that feels okay.
Be more than okay.
So I've got some photos here
Oh, gosh.
that I'd love to share with you. Okay, so these are the Sussmans.
Yes.
And we think this is your great aunt, Anthony. This is your great uncle, Samuel. These are their children. This is Irene, little girl. So the same family, but a bit further down the line. We know that both Samuel and Anthony were killed in Auschwitz. But Irene, we know she managed to escape. She moved to the UK in 1937.
Is she still alive?
She isn't, but her children are. And this is a photo of your first or second cousins,
Gosh.
Tony and Alex. So they're brother and sister. They're in North London.
To think they're down the road all this time.
So we really
Well
believe
done.
that these are your closest living relatives, Jackie.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh.
They really want to meet you, Jackie.
I think we want to meet them.
I had a feeling that would be the case.
What did they say when they were told?
Would you like to hear what they said?
Please do.
Hi Jackie, I'm Alex and this is my younger sister Tony, and apparently we are your closest living family.
Hi Jackie, can't wait to meet up with you and your family and for you to meet our families, and I hope it won't be too long till that happens.
It's totally unbelievable what you've done. It really is. You hit the jackpot.
Share DNA. You're cousins.
It's a life-changing situation for me. And I'm not alone anymore.
Are you okay, Lita? How are you feeling?
It's more than he could have wished for.
Jackie, thank you so, so much for allowing us to help you with this.
What you've done today made me a very happy man. Beyond my
Great.
dreams. Beyond my dreams. Today, I am meeting Tony and Alex, my family. For 60 years, I've been looking to find out that they're alive in London. It's just wonderful. To gaze on somebody's eyes and look at somebody that is related to me. It's very emotional.
Welcome.
So lovely to meet you. Oh, wonderful.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Come in. Haven't got any, never come across a blood relief.
Nobody. You two are my closest living relatives.
Well, okay. What they do with DNA now and everything,
It's opened a massive door.
you know, it's just amazing. We just knew what family we've got.
Yes.
Never thought anybody
There was
was
no
ever going to
assumptions.
turn up again. I mean,
No.
at this stage, you know, you just
No,
don't
you
expect
just-
it. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, a miracle. They're happy tears, I hope. Amazing.